What's up, gang?
Hey, what's going on, crew? Chilling?
Okay, we're gonna jump in immediately with some personal picks of mine. Starting with, I'll probably say, the most legendary shitty cover of all time. What a cover it is, too. So we're gonna sort of break this down. We have Tyler and our narrator, Edward Norton. Tyler is holding a bar of soap, or we can assume it is Tyler, but the hand is sort of coming from off screen in a way that does not tell us it is definitely Tyler holding the soap. There could be an off screen character doing so, because the hand is like clearly not Brad Pitt's hand. It's pretty apparent to me that the hand is added in by some sort of professional Photoshop genius. Maybe it's the hand of a hand model. I suppose. And it's sort of coming from. It goes off screen and then it comes up into the foreground. But it is in the same focus as Tyler and Norton back here, which makes us. It makes us wonder, where is the focus of this image? We see this brick wall in the background, and this is not, based on my memory, and I've only seen the movie like a couple times, so I could be wrong here. I'm pretty sure this is not a notable location from Fight Club. I mean, maybe it's behind the bar where they fight for the first time, but I do not have a memory of a green brick wall being a prominent part of the film. Nor do I remember a pink bar of soap being a prominent part of the film. Now, Tyler does introduce himself as a soap maker. Making the soap, it comes up a couple times. I guess I just think it's not, like, it shouldn't be in front of both the characters. It's not that important to the story that they make soap, right? The way that the Fight Club is sort of burned onto the soap is reminiscent of the chemical burn scene. I don't know if that's what that is supposed to be calling to, but that is what it makes me think of, especially because he's holding it sort of in his hand very tightly. I don't know if I'm schizo, but it almost looks like the soap is burning onto his hand here. Does anyone else see that shit? There's another notable scene where Tyler Durden is in the bathtub using a bar of soap. This could be maybe a homage to that. This image is crazy warm and yellow and super vibrant. I want to say saturated. It almost looks like what I do to my webcam to make it look purposely shitty. We will notice the prominent use of green and yellow on this poster. Maybe the green conveys the envy that Edward Norton feels towards Tyler Durden. Although that's not exactly in line with these facial expressions, which should be considered. These faces are interesting because not only are they both very stupid looking, they're also kind of out of character for both of them. Like in the movie, Tyler Durden is more of a goofball character, whereas the narrator is a little more self-serious. So these faces really could be swapped and make more sense, but I think maybe that's intentional, because they are sort of interchangeable as characters in the story. Maybe that's why they did that. Although I really do dislike this, whatever Edward Norton is doing with his lips here, with this little, like, smug, I don't even know. This is a really bad cover. I don't know what's going on with this negative space up here either. Like, is there a reason why the wall behind them disappears and there's just black space up here? Or on the topic of negative space, I don't really see a reason for this negative space either. The narrator is being framed by the negative space created by Tyler's arm and his head. So what is with this weird green spot over here? Because the narrator has been pushed off to the right for some reason. Just one of many weird things with this picture. Like, it's just a fucking bizarre image. It doesn't really represent the movie all that well. It's kind of useless. I really dislike it. It's almost kind of cool just because of how, like, obviously bad it is and how, like, iconic it has become just because of the movie. Like, this image is popular. It's, like, in popular media. It comes up a lot in serious film discussion. But it's like a really stupid cover, which is kind of awesome. I think that there is something to be said about it is so corny that it kind of does a good job of representing Fight Club, because Fight Club is a very corny movie that doesn't take itself nearly as seriously as people take it. So in a way, there's kind of something beautiful about this cover. It sort of represents the conversation around Fight Club and its intentions as a movie. But as a cover, this looks pretty bad. The Fight Club cover was so bad that it actually made me not watch Fight Club for a significant period of time, because I thought it was like a generic sports movie when I was younger. And even after having it explained to me, I was like, okay, well, it's probably still fucking stupid, because that's not even his hand in the cover. I didn't even mention this in the moment, but Brad Pitt's neck is so fucked up on that cover. I really think people need to start looking closer at it, because there's some sort of dark, twisted message somewhere. Probably the greatest example of a great movie with a really bad cover. This next movie is not a great movie. It's like a alright movie. It's an alright movie with a fucking horrible cover. And it's actually such a weird, convoluted, sharpened, freaky cover that it actually is not even readable when I've scaled it down in MS Paint. So I'm going to have to change my whole setup just so you guys can see what's going on in this cover, because it just looks like mind-melting mush when I put it like that. Alright, Furiosa, the Mad Max Saga. This cover is fucking despicable, man. Seriously, frustratingly ugly. We have Anya Taylor-Joy here, looking as little like the original actor or like herself as she possibly could. She looks like a fucking demon. I'm really not sure what is going on with her forehead here. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. Maybe she does paint her forehead like this. I guess she probably does. But there is no point in the movie where she looks like this. I remember, because the entire time I was watching it, I was waiting for her to start looking like this. The colors on this movie, the colors on this poster are absolutely fucking gross, man. We have some blue with some orange, which is just complementing, but it is all very contrasted with her gross, flaky, unwashed, split ends hair, which sort of very realistically shows in all its grotesque detail on the skyline. We have this unbordered text just sort of sitting on top, with the Furiosa behind. Is that her again? I never even took a close look at this cover. I guess this is our protagonist again. I guess she's beside herself with this movie poster. She's in front of the Furiosa text, behind the Mad Max Saga text. Next to her, we have various other characters, so many other characters. This is using the a method originally thought of by Star Wars and later utilized by every Marvel movie, where you just sort of put everyone on the cover, everyone conceivable. You just mishmash as much shit on there as you possibly can. It was pretty cool in the 70s. Nowadays, I think the consensus is that is a shitty idea, and this is a shitty poster. I don't even understand what these are on the ground. It's been a while since I haven't seen this movie since it came out. Are these a part of the plot? Are they collecting a bunch of these wheels in the movie? Who's to say, man? These red flags stick out to me as being a really especially dumb choice.
Well, I just learned from the comment section that your wife has a full-time job and she uses TikTok to earn extra money, so I don't think making your dinner is her job either. Oh, male constituent!
This circle back here, it must be a MacGuffin, but I'm not really sure. It kind of fades off here in a way that looks bad, and this is like a car that is on top of, it's just floating in the air. It's just sort of placed in the air, man. This one doesn't bother me nearly as much. This is Rushmore, Wes Anderson's undisputed masterpiece, and I'm just now realizing it has a black border, which kind of makes me like it a lot more. You can see here is our text escaping, or you can't see that. We have our font sort of escaping the border, which is pretty cool right there. We've got more yellow and blue, kind of a never-failing idea. We've got a lot of pictures here in the background of historical figures and celebrities and dogs. There's here's the devil. I believe that to be Jack Nicholson, one of the finest actors of all time. I'm confused about the relevance of all of these people and characters back here, because this movie really, I don't find it to be a movie about or involving pop culture, and I've only seen it once. I mean to watch it again because it is my favorite Wes Anderson movie, but I really don't understand. Maybe I gotta give it another watch. I don't understand what the hell is going on back here. The way his hand sort of pushes through the letters, nothing wrong with that, but it is weird that it is sort of transparently bleeding through them with like a multiply effect here, and then it breaks all the way through and goes over the M. I feel like one or the other would have worked fine. It's doing like a pop art thing, but I think that these thick outlines that are supposed to probably look like a paper cutout have aged poorly, because from far away they give less of a paper cutout vibe and more of a YouTube thumbnail vibe. I honestly think this cover was probably pretty great in the 90s, but with time it just is kind of annoying to me. And I think I'm probably in the minority saying I don't like this cover, because I've seen people who say they really like it, but I don't know, something about it just does not really scream Rushmore to me, especially even the font. There's no really incorporation of Rushmore or the themes of the movie. It is just sort of a cover that looks kind of cool for the purpose of that, with nothing else. It honestly feels like the Fight Club cover to me in that way. And now I'm seeing that he is also escaping this through this black border twice. That's kind of cool. It would be cooler if he wasn't wearing a black shirt so you could actually see that it was happening. Here's another cover that is not that bad. Eternal Sunshine. I really just think this cover is making this movie seem a lot more generic than it actually is, and it sort of discourages people from watching it. We have this weird smoothness on Jim Carrey's face, this really soft lighting, and I honestly, Jim Carrey's character in that movie does not have a smooth face. That's all I'll say. The way that the text fades, I get it, okay, but it still looks pretty stupid. The really fake ice cracked beneath them. Is that how it looks in the movie? Because that looks pretty bad. In the movie, it's pretty much the same shape, but they don't have all those, like, like cover art filters and brightness, contrast, fucking exposure boosting bullshit on it, so it doesn't look nearly as artificial and shitty. Honestly, I wouldn't have included this visual on the cover at all. I would have done something completely different if I was the designer. While we're on the topic, I should also just bring up The Social Network, because it just, once again, just very generic. I guess I like the use of space, but it doesn't really have anything to say about the movie. Catch Me If You Can, another classic one. I think it's ballsy to not show either of the actors on the cover. And honestly, I can't tell you for sure that this is Leonardo DiCaprio. It doesn't really look like his shape or body type. This looks more like Tom Hanks, but he also looks like a cartoon character, pretty much any fat guy ever. And his head looks a little round even, actually. I'm starting to question if that could be Tom Hanks. This looks like an ad you would see on the side of a bus for maybe an insurance company. really just a soulless, irritating cover to me. The font choice is like what is this? Is this a fucking like presentation for a school project? I don't understand how it looks like this. The motion blur is like fake for some reason. Obviously these are photographs they took of people running with a high shutter speed, and then later added fake motion blur or directional blur, and it's kind of going in like one continuous direction, and that direction is different for both of them, or maybe his is a little more like this. Very confusing, very disorienting to look at. Does not sell this movie. It kind of looks like the white background has the vibe of like an Adam Sandler comedy. What's the one where like the dad is trying to fight for Christmas or whatever? Who's your daddy? I don't know, something like that. I think this is the point in Wes Anderson's career where it starts to become kind of epic how bad his covers are. You have to start understanding like there's no way he's serious, so I guess it's kind of cool. But at the same time, I mean, this had to have been the reason why a lot of people didn't watch this movie. Some of his worst symmetry yet. We have the it looks almost like mirrored, and we've got all the actors in there looking like a mobile game banner. They look like fucking spider monkeys. These kind of spore-looking fish and animals, and this perfectly centered pufferfish. Got another one here, really looking like they're from an NVIDIA tech demo, an NVIDIA real-time playable demo to show off on like an underwater world. Not especially representative of what even happens in the movie. They all look... What the fuck is even happening here? He looks like the Giga Chad meme. This looks like AI-generated celeb porn comics or something. This font is just especially irritating to me. This like difference in text size is irritating to me for some reason because like the border is way thicker. I can't even really describe it. Okay, I'm not enough of a typographist to explain why this looks irritating from far away, but I think honestly you should have just stuck with one of them. Or actually this is the same thing with the thick borders, except it's yellow on the inside. That has just made me hate it even more. And then with is the only one that is in an actual fully like a fill or whatever. Pretty bad cover, but honestly it's getting so self-aware that it's hard to even call it bad anymore. This one is just bad, though. This one I just want to mention because I think it's honestly such a bad cover that it easily loops back around to being a great cover. This is The Whale, Brendan Fraser movie. I think it's a Darren Aronofsky movie. This cover basically single-handedly became the advertising campaign for the movie because it was trending on Twitter for being so goofy looking. It is kind of like The Martian in that it's, very generic, very goofy in just how uncreative it is. It doesn't really have anything to say about the movie or about anything. It's just a, background out of focus, subject in focus, picture of Brendan Fraser in a fat suit. But it's just the face he's making and the fact that it is a very recognizable face, that of Brendan Fraser, except he's clearly like morbidly obese. There's something very comedic about it, which I don't think was the intention at all, but either way, this one worked excellently to promote the movie. This cover for Drive specifically, and I think Drive does have alternate covers that are good, but this one is pretty bad. Can I get a higher quality version of it, please? You know what? This one's pretty bad too. This one really makes it look a blood-pumping thrill of a movie. That's not how I would describe Drive at all. I'm not as obsessed with Drive as a lot of people are, but I definitely do not dislike it, and I would not describe it like this or use a cover like this. This makes it look like it's going to be a Fast and Furious action movie about a getaway driver getting in, action-oriented situations every 8 seconds and jumping his car over roofs. Drive made me think of this one, this Blade Runner poster. It's just very generic, and it's not good because of that. The reason that I hate this one, specifically when compared to other shitty generic posters, is that this one exists. I don't know why it's so small, but it's pretty much the same poster except the colors are much nicer. Okay, I'm on Reddit now, and I'm pulling these out of a Reddit comment section, so I'm gonna be making a decision about other people's opinions here. These are not posters I have deemed to be bad yet, so we're gonna have a look at some of these. This is allegedly, and I don't know if I'm even willing to believe this, this is supposed to be the original Jurassic Park poster. I really hope that this is the original Jurassic Park poster. Personally, I do think it's fucking awesome, okay? Dinosaur in the clouds, incredible. This airbrushed look on all these characters. I am a big fan of this poster. I don't think this is bad at all. People on Reddit seem to be very surprised about it, but I think this is I think that if this was the poster the movie would have. I don't know that this one is actually real. We're gonna have to really inspect this. Oh my god. Oh my, the fucking craziest part is it just says Tom Hanks at the top. It just says Tom Hanks, man. That's so funny. This is the type of shit Ron Howard would sign off on. That sick bastard. I'm looking at this printed onto a Blu-ray for purchase on Amazon.com right now. So this is a real cover they sell the movie with. I don't know if what happened. I honestly don't even want to look at it anymore. It's so fucked up, man. Look at their necks. This is what Brad Pitt's neck looks like on the Fight Club cover. This looks like the Richard Linklater movie, Apollo 12.5 or whatever it was. I thought that's what this was the cover for originally. But no, this is Ron Howard, or sorry, Tom Hanks' Apollo 13 movie, which if you've seen that, I'm going to be the first to point out to you guys, it is not a comic book. It is a live action recount of the Apollo 13 mission, okay? There's nothing comic book about it. This is like some shit you see in the library, man. Also, this is a thread of good movies with bad posters, so hopefully we are not going to be seeing bad movies show up. Speak of the devil. Here we have Spider-Man Homecoming. Not the worst Marvel movie, but it is a Marvel movie, so it is not, Kino. Embodying what I was talking about before, which I think I mentioned Marvel movies as a specific example of the Star Wars effect. Of course, Star Wars was hand-painted, and this is just sort of, there's Jon Favreau. We just sort of put everyone here. There's Tony Stark. He's got fire around him. A very cringe-worthy poster, especially the poster I saw when I watched this movie in theaters. It was this poster, which is a much nicer poster in just about every single way. While we're on the Marvel ones, I think I gotta pull up this one because someone posted this in the thread, and I couldn't help but take notice. Wow, what a poster that is. What a fucking beautiful. I'm glad there's not a higher quality version because it's much funnier like this. look, someone else has posted a drive cover. This is worse than the ones I pulled up. What the fuck, man? What were they thinking when they were promoting this movie? Here, this is interesting. Someone posted one of my favorite posters ever. Saul Bass poster for The Shining. This is a weird poster because I don't know who this character is. I've always wondered about that, but I think that's kind of I think that's kind of what makes this a great poster, is that it really is not indicative of the movie in a way that benefits The Shining, right? The character on the cover of the Saul Bass poster can be, that can be Danny, that can be the spirit that inhabits Danny. If you really want to believe that it's Jack, it can be Jack too, but I think what's great about it is that it works best as it's just a face of horror, right? Just a representation of horror, a horror that doesn't need to exist, and that's kind of what The Shining is about. It misleads you in a way that I think will overall improve your experience watching The Shining, no matter who you are. Because, yeah, it looks like a little gremlin or an alien or something, and I think the expectation of something existing in The Shining makes that movie scarier, and it makes it more surprising and more interesting. But either way, I think this is still kind of indicative of the spirit of The Shining, even though it's kind of not literally. I don't know. Something about it is cool, and I do prefer when I'm looking at a poster for The Shining that I'm not getting too much information about the movie, because it is a movie where you really shouldn't know where the horror is until you're watching it. This one's funny. The Prestige. Probably. I mean, it definitely looks bad with this giant Blu-ray high definition thing going around. That is pretty evil to put that on a movie poster. The original poster isn't good, but it is there's something kind of good about it. The corniness of a Christopher Nolan movie is kind of embodied by this sort of two-headed like dark room posters. I feel like that is very much what his movies feel like. Someone posted Shawshank. Why? We can take a look at this. It's not the greatest poster. I've always disliked Shawshank, like the Shawshank font. I don't know what the thought behind that was. Maybe I'm missing something. It's a little theatrical, I guess, this poster, but I think it kind of needed to be, because the Shawshank Redemption was kind of famously at a disadvantage when it was coming out. It was a pretty unknown Stephen King story. It was one of 4 in the Four Seasons novella collection, and it had a pretty wordy, confusing title. So I think it really needed a poster like this with all these theatrics and really try to make it seem like the most exciting thing in the world. Not that it worked the greatest, but it definitely couldn't have had much else. I think that this is a decent poster for The Shawshank Redemption. It doesn't spoil anything. It just kind of has these themes of hope and resilience, which are basically what that movie is. All right, thanks, gang. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to drop a like and leave a poster for a movie that you dislike in the comments so I can do another one of these videos. Make sure to say maybe what year the poster is from, or if it's a theatrical poster, so I can have an easier time finding it, at least describe the contents of it. Ow. Fuck. Anyway, maybe I could do a just general bad posters on bad movies, or a good posters on bad movies, or a good posters on good movies, or whatever it may be video at some point.
Wait, this is More Than Kisses? Oh, jeez. Whoa, freeze. It's my first time. Don't tease me or I'm gonna burst. I'm not well versed when it comes to quenching thirst. I'm unrehearsed. And in love somewhat cursed. I'm the worst in moments like these. So scared I'll be selfish, so anxious to please. It is not supposed to be like this. You on your knees thinking he's a bit sleazy. It's cheesy. I thought there'd be violins. Or a bouquet of roses. Something slightly more enticing than a film and mimosas. Halitosis. Do I have it? No. Yes, that's your butt. You want me to grab it? Oh, I've been a nun. Now there goes my habit, like Alice down the rabbit hole. I feel like someone knew your skin on my skin. So this is love, and now I know what I missed. You know I could do this all day. Okay. okay, maybe not all day. Oh, wow.